Dad replaced me with his girlfriend and her kids who despise me. My parents split up when I was a toddler, and I spent most weekdays with my mom and the weekends at my dad's house. My dad and I were inseparable back then. We had this fun tradition where we'd pick up 3 DVDs from the local rental store and binge-watch them over the weekend. We'd go hiking, play basketball, and even had this little secret park near the river that we would bike to. My dad always seemed to have new girlfriends, but they never stuck around for more than a few weeks. The only exception was a woman I really liked who stayed with my dad for over a year before she left when I was 8. Still, my bond with my dad was strong, until I turned 10. That's when he met his current girlfriend. This woman has 2 sons, one older than me and one younger. After just a week of dating, they all moved into my dad's townhouse. I had a small room, but suddenly my bed and dresser were crammed into the corner to make space for a bunk bed and the older boy's stuff. Eventually, they even started storing my bed in the garage and wouldn't bother setting it up before I visited. When my dad moved into a larger house, the older brother got his own room while I had to share one with the younger brother during my weekends there. My few belongings were shoved into a single drawer, while the younger kid took over the other space for his games. As time went on, I started visiting less and less, and things got especially bad when one weekend, I arrived to find out I didn't have a room at all. I showed up at my dad's house, ready for our usual weekend together, only to find the younger brother had taken over my side of the room completely. My clothes were stuffed into plastic bags and shoved under the bunk bed. When I asked my dad where I was supposed to sleep, he casually pointed to the couch in the living room like it was no big deal. I tried to keep calm, but it hurt. The little brother snickered, and the older one didn't even bother acknowledging I was there. My dad's girlfriend acted as if it was normal, like I was just some occasional visitor and not his actual child. But the final straw came when they all planned a family vacation to Europe, and I wasn't even invited. My dad didn't even tell me. I found out by overhearing the younger brother bragging about how excited he was for the trip. When I confronted my dad, he just mumbled something about how they could only afford 4 tickets, and it wasn't personal. That was it. I realized I wasn't part of his new family, not really. He had replaced me. I stopped visiting entirely after that. Every time he'd call, it was like talking to a stranger. His new family was his priority now, and I was just a distant memory. But the shock didn't end there. 2 months later, I found out they had moved again. This time, they didn't even bother telling me. I called my dad's phone, and his new wife picked up. She casually mentioned they had relocated to a bigger house, but there wasn't space for me to visit anymore. "You understand, right?" she asked. I hung up, feeling more abandoned than ever. Anyways, do you believe I made the right decision in distancing myself, or should I have handled things differently? Comment down below what you think, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.